So I said that we would be going back in the past and talking about some of the other trades that went down before the Montreal and Detroit moves happened, but this, of course, is the Pittsburgh and New York trade that everybody was expecting, right? The Penguins have acquired a 2027 fourth-round draft pick from the Rangers in exchange for defenseman Chad Ruhwedel. And this, of course, is no Jake Guentzel move. It's no blockbuster, it's no superstar going over to the Rangers, but what this is a pretty good depth option that I think the Rangers have been looking for. Take a look at the profile. Ruhwedel is 33 years old, 5'11", 192, right-handed guy, signed till the end of this season, making $800,000 a year. Honestly, he's been in Pittsburgh for so long that I kind of already assumed that he was a lot more expensive than that. But even when the Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup in 2017, he was a part of that team. He only played 6 games in the postseason that year, but they still did some pretty good things. The next season, they had 12 games played, or he had 12 games played, 44 in the regular season and 5 points. He's been in Pittsburgh this entire time and had some pretty decent to bad point production in the process. 13 points in 78 games played was his career high per season in the NHL, and this year he's got 4 points in 47 games. So Ruhwedel really has not been the highest flying offensive point producer, but at the end of the day, in a competitive environment like Pittsburgh, he has been able to tango, he has been able to walk the walk, he has been able to stick around in the roster without getting moved down to the AHL for a significant amount of time. There were a few injury scares throughout the years here, and of course some nights he just straight up is a healthy scratch, but at the end of the day, Chad Ruhwedel is a pretty solid depth guy to have with the Rangers system. In fact, here's a funny tweet that went out there and talked about it. Funny moment in the locker room here. I was chatting with K'Andre Miller when my phone started buzzing. I told him Chad Ruhwedel got traded. He asked where, and I pointed to the locker room next to his. Ruhwedel, of course, does have some connections to other American players, NCAA scene, etc., but Ruhwedel at 33 years old, being on this squad, is going to be a nice depth pickup. They even talk about this on the subreddit. Take a look at the R Rangers sub over here. They talk about the trade. And one of the comments says, a friend that's a Pens fan says that he's a solid depth guy who will be a good 7th defenseman. And then the reply says, why are you friends with a Pens fan? Same here, though. Family member is a Pens fan, I see a lot of their games. Ruhwedel is solid, nothing fancy, but he's reliable overall. We need depth, and that's what he is. Wow, I hope this isn't related to Trouba being injured. Nah, the Rangers need another defenseman anyway. And so, when it comes to the Ruhwedel acquisition, this really isn't that big of a deal, especially compared to what everybody thought the Rangers may be able to get themselves involved in regards with the Pittsburgh Penguins trade. I mean, we were thinking about the idea of Jake Guentzel heading over, but nah, an extra depth defenseman is always needed and valuable, so for the Rangers, they're getting themselves a guy that has his contract expiring at the end of the year. This is, for all intents and purposes, a very standard move, but it is one that I thought was interesting to talk about. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Chad Ruhwedel heading over to New York in exchange for a very simple price of a 4th round pick. And that draft pick is not going to be used until 2027, so we've got 3 years to wait before the Ruhwedel trade return actually becomes finalized. But for now, if you're a Rangers fan, let me know in the comments how whelmed you are with this transaction from the Pittsburgh Penguins. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.